Okay, this video will show you how to create a virtual tour, Google virtual tour, and publish it to the Google listing. First thing you need to do is to log into gothru with the username that I gave you, moderation@mybusinessview.com.au. Click on Constellations, and from Constellations what you need to do is basically create a new tour for a business. Click on Create Tour. This will open up a window with a map that allows you to search for a particular business. So in this example we will use firearm only. So and then please make sure that you create the tour for the correct business, and then create new tour. Now we'll provide you a list of tours that need to be published. Just copy and paste the name of the business into that search screen to search for the business, and make sure that the address is right when you create the tour. Okay, once you've created the tour, the next thing to do is to upload the images. Okay. So you click on upload and then click on auto stitching. Now the images will be loaded for you into folders that will appear over here. As you can see, there's a folder for firearm only. Click on it, select the right business name, and then click on preview panos. And it will bring up the images that need to be stitched together. Once you've done that, click on Stitch Panos, and that will basically send a message through to the system to stitch those images together. It does take usually shouldn't take longer than 1 day for those images to be stitched, but it can happen within an hour or a couple of hours. So here we've got one that has already stitched the images together. So if we click on that, and basically what we want to do is just publish this to the Google listing. To do that, we click on Moderate. Okay, so as you can see, there are 3 images here that need to be linked together. It's always easiest maybe to start from the outside. So grab the image that looks like it's from the outside. Just double click on it. Okay, now you need to move the image around to the point of view where you want to place the next image. So you can see this line in the middle here, that should be where you want to place the next image on that line somewhere. So we know it's straight through the store. We could see if we want to have a preview of what the next image should be. Have a look around. You click down here on the images, and you can actually see the different images, what they look like. We can see, okay, well that's sort of the one that we want. And so we know that we're going to link image number 1 to image number 2. So click on number 2. We've lined it up over there. And as you can see, an arrow appears to link it together. Okay. Now when we click through, it will take us to that link. When we click through to the other image, we just want to make sure that that image lines up properly with the other, that arrow is pointing to where the other image is. So if we go over here, you could expand this over here. See this little marker over here? That allows you to turn the arrow around. Yep. So we know that it's about there. So what we want to do is line up that red line with the arrow. So we put the red line where the other position was, the other image, and then we move this around here to line the arrow up with the red line. Sometimes it accidentally deselects it. Just make sure that you go back on select it like that. And if we click on that, you can see that links up with that position. Click through, that's going to link up with that. Okay, that all looks good. Now you can reduce this on the left hand side so you can move to the next position, the next image. Now we want to link image number 2 with image number 3. Now where, okay, so if we have a look at image number 3, we could see that, okay, so it's just further down the middle. You know, if you're looking at 2, you can see that image 3 is about there. Image 3 is about there. So we want to position the red line where we're going to put image 3. We know it's somewhere down there. And then we click on image 3. And you can actually, it's a different way of lining up, which we play around with later, but when we click through to that image, we just want to make sure that when we turn that around, it's looking up, it's linking up with image number 2 correctly. If we click on that, and number 1 correctly. Turn it around, have a look, all looks good, and they all link up correctly. Okay, that all looks good to me. One thing you need to do is just space them out a little bit. So select the whole lot. You do that by clicking on Shift and then just drawing a square, dragging your mouse across it all, and just take the corner and drag it out a bit. Okay, and that just if we reduce, sorry, if we scroll out, we can see, all right. The other thing we want to do is we don't want this overlapping on roads at all. So we don't want the images to overlap onto the road. And we also want that image, the outside image, we just want to make sure that the outside image is, we're facing that image actually faces north. So by doing that, we look at the little compass down the bottom there. The red point needs to be facing directly north at 12 o'clock. And the way we do that is we just highlight it all, highlight all the positions, and move it round until we see that red arrow pointing north. Okay. And then we just want to make sure that it's not on the road at all. Okay, and that's it. Make sure you save. You can then close this window, go back to the other window, and just go back to constellations. You actually need to go back to constellations. Go back into the tour, and when it's ready to publish on Google, you click on the Google. So at this point in time, I don't want you to click on that Google button. At first, I will just check to make sure that you've correctly lined them all up, and I'll check them all, and then once I'm comfortable that you're doing it properly, then I'll let you go ahead and publish them. And that's it for this video. Thank you.